This evening, we are going to talk about Bigfoot and aliens. Kind of a weird subject to put into the same pot, but I'm not the first one that has done that. Let me just share with you that I remember back in the, I think 1980s, they had a map with Bigfoot sightings. Let's say, I think it was in the Northeast. And they had UFO sightings. And they were making a case that they were coinciding, and there was some relationship between, you ready for this? Bigfoot and aliens. I don't know about you, but that kind of sounds weird. And I never really gave it much thought after that. And on top of that, no one's really pushed that theory. Now, I'm not here to talk about the theory that these two relate in some kind of relationship that I'll explain in just a second, but that there is a relationship between these two. They have a common theme, and I'll explain that in just a second. Welcome to the Lost World Museum, where we talk about where we came from. Did we come from an ape-like creature 3 to 4 million years ago? Or were aliens involved in our DNA, kicking us out of the caves 35,000 years ago and made us smarter, and better looking? Or did we come from a race of, may I say, genius giants by the name of Adam and Eve, who were highly intelligent, long-lived, and that there was a worldwide flood 4,500 years ago? There you go. 3 different worldviews. 3 different ways of looking at life. But we're talking about something very esoteric and very strange. And at the same time, what's the truth about these and how do they fit in? Truthfully, you will look at each of these, all right, as you will come to different conclusions, let me just say, when you look at them through the spectacles of these 3 worldviews. Myself, I'm a young earth creationist, the atom theory. And so I'm going to put these 2 together in a very interesting way. Now, ironically enough, we're creating a video that is going to go into this on YouTube in great detail. So if you're interested in receiving an alert when we finally get to the point to where we launch it, and it may be another month or so, because this is going to be one of the most expensive and most involved video out there. I am going to do a small teaser. Either tonight or tomorrow, I'm going to release it as a YouTube short, Instagram Reels, and a TikTok. All 3. So if you're interested, you're already a subscriber here on Instagram, then great. Otherwise, if you want to get the full picture of what we do, long form, and then the 2 sites that we really pay the most attention on, sorry Instagram, is TikTok, but more importantly, more recently, is YouTube. So, and for those of you that are not familiar with us, or people always ask this question, what's your channel's name? It's Lost World Museum. All right, back to Bigfoot and Mr. Lizard Man over here. And by the way, what we're going to do tonight is have a little bit of fun while we talk about something that's very serious. And then I'm going to give you a free report for those that are interested in knowing more about, not these, but something related to this. But before I do, you got to see this. Bigfoot, emergency Bigfoot. Now you can have no sound of a Bigfoot whenever you want it. I've got a howl, snort, roar, and groan. Groan. I think I like the howl the most. Let me play it for you. Yeah, that one I like the most. So, how are these related? I found something else very curious. Now, we just spoke in the just earlier in this program, that there was a relationship between Bigfoot and flying saucers, or UFOs, that there was a correlation between the two. You want to know what the theory suggested in this relationship between these two? That somehow these ships were putting these guys down on the ground and then taking them away. Because there was a repeatable, or should I say multiple, sightings of UFOs and Bigfoot, they were suggesting that they're related like that physically, relationally. All right, I'm not going to give it to you all because the Bigfoot video that we put out is really going to go into it deeply. What are these? One thing I will say about this, and I'm only going to give a few pieces of the puzzle. I'm just going to tease you a little bit. Sorry, friends. I don't want to give the whole thing away. But the important thing is that as more than one person has said this, and with this UFO thing, that theory that came out 30 years ago that you don't hear about, is that they're interdimensional, meaning they seem to be able to step in and out of what we consider our third dimension, that is, the things that we see around us, that they somehow are not just some kind of animal man that is in the forest, but it goes beyond that. And the being able to step in and out of the normal material world that we perceive has been brought on by this. So they're not just stepping in and out like a curtain. They're being dropped down. They're doing their thing. And then when it's time, they say, hey, time to come back home. And then they take these big guys back up into the ship and then go about their business. This is the reason why we can't find them. We can't actually capture one because the elusiveness is a result of a relationship that they have with flying saucers, UFOs. Are you comfortable with that? Are you willing to buy that? Well, there's one thing that is for sure, and that is that these things, whatever they are, don't seem to operate like normal animals, meaning that they're either terribly clever or they really even don't exist. Or, and that's what we're going to be, that's the or. I want to welcome everybody that's on tonight. Thank you for joining us. We're not going to be on for very long. I had to disrupt my wife's editing. She's editing a new video on Peru. This one is going to be pretty good, and we're going to be premiering at 7:30 Friday night. Now, we'll be coming on live here on Instagram at 7 to introduce the video and encourage you to come over at 7:30 to our YouTube channel and watch it with us. We're going to be premiering it. It'll be about 8 minutes long, but it's footage that she brought back last summer that we're getting around to being able to put together, and some of those cuts in stone. Wait till you see the cuts, the saw marks. You hear about that in Egypt, but you don't hear about that in the rocks in Peru. Friday night you're going to. It's really, really remarkable. So, all right. So I teased you a little bit. The Bigfoot information that I have and the lead up to it is going to be in our community page on YouTube. And also, we might have a teaser video here and there before it comes on. Now, I'm creating a special video that is going to be posted on here either tonight or tomorrow that was shot during the footage that we initially shot Sunday on the Bigfoot project. It's really weird, has to do with a fallen angel and how they are fooling us. But wait till you see the visual. It's very interesting how we projected or how we depicted a fallen angel. And the fallen angel is going to be basically showing you through pictorial form as we go in and out, as this thing is chasing you towards the camera, how they are basically trying to fool us into believing in certain things, primarily right here. So wait till you see it. It's going to be different. It's going to be a little bit weird, but it may all of a sudden make some sense. the expanded version of this in a full, 10-minute video or 5-minute video, whatever it ends up being, is going to be broadcasted live. And then, of course, for a replay on YouTube, probably first part of June. Okay, we still got more to shoot, and we got other videos in the meantime. So there you have it. All right, so I'm going to give you a free report for those of you who are interested in receiving this. And I know it's in backwards vision, so let me share with you what this is. Hold on one second. I just got to see. Okay. All right. So what this says is there life on other worlds? It is a 5-page report that talks about life on other worlds, and you're not going to be able to get this anywhere on the internet. I know, because I wrote it, and I have not released it, only as an incentive for those who would like to join our newsletter. We have 1,960 subscribers, and go to museumalerts.com. That's Museum Alerts. museumalerts.com, and you can sign up for it. If you do that tonight, you're going to get a free report right away, the 3 top reasons why Noah's Ark must still exist. And then I'm going to send you this personally, okay? The 5-page Is There Life on Other Planets? And for those of you that have known us for a while but haven't texted us to get on our text line, our text service, this is free. I want you to, I should have wrote this backwards, 315-509. Take a screenshot of that, and then you can just reverse the numbers. 9075. What is this? This is free service for the United States and Canada. Before we went on live, I texted 146 people that are on the list and said, going live, please join me on Instagram. And they said, okay, thanks. And I just keep in touch with these. These are people that want to keep in touch with what we're doing. As good as, thank you, Chad, I appreciate that. 315-509-9075. And as good as the alert systems are on some of these social media sites and YouTube, they're not great. But when you get a text that says, I'm going live, here's the link, that's it, then I feel that that's a service that's worthy of you guys, and that's the reason why we did this. It's not for everyone, but for those who are, great. One more Bigfoot howl. Let's do the snort. The Bigfoot movie is coming soon. It is going to be unlike anything you've ever seen. Some of the theories may not be brand new, but the visuals are going to be different. This is going to be a way of expressing it and to understand it from a different worldview, and also very heavily into one particular perspective that I believe solves the problem. Because when you learn about how this whole thing works with Bigfoot, you will see that all the attempts to try to solve it through normal, evolutionary, or naturalistic ways is futile. I'm John Adolphi with the Lost World Museum, where we ask the provocative and important question, where did we come from? Did we come from an ape-like creature 3 to 4 million years ago? Were aliens involved in our DNA and advancement, both physically and intellectually? Or did we come from Adam and Eve some 6,000 to 10,000 years ago? You can join me on YouTube Friday night at 7:30. Name of the channel is Lost World Museum. Good night. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.